welcome back to What Up Eugene. Of course, I am your host, Lars. I'm joined today, as always, by Dan. What's going on today, Dan? How you doing? What's up?
Got here a little bit late, but we're here.
You know, he told me, I woke up at like 5 o'clock today, and he said, we're recording at 6 dead, so I had to go get coffee, clean the studio up, act like I was alive all day. And I was ready to go by 6, mic set up and everything, and Dan he rolls in at like 6:35, and he's like, let me go get the guest and the drinks. It's almost 8 o'clock now. Well, Dan, the reason I gathered you here today, I'm so excited to tell you, this is our 15th episode.
Wow.
And, I never thought I would be saying that. That really, to me, that's always been my goal. 15 episodes of a podcast, almost every week. It's been about 19 weeks, I'd say, at this point. We've missed a couple. I'm calling it quits. I'm retired. That's the highlight of my artistic creativity. If you can call a podcast art, and I'd like to think you could. I peaked, yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to let people know, like, just having hit record is where I'm done with the show. I brought up, my goal and that this is the highlight of my life to imply that I'm not trying for the rest of this episode. I'm out. I've already retired. I've already thrown in the towel, so...
All right.
I really call this
I have nothing to build on that with.
No, you don't.
We have a guest,
well,
though.
it's in your hands
We
now.
have a guest. Oh, can we
hear...
she's
talking.
Can we hear a theme?
Sure.
Dear Abby, my feet are too long.
That's the whole thing.
Wow.
That's,
did you write that?
No. That was a man by the name of John Prine or John Prine. I'm not sure what it is.
John Prime?
Prine? Prine? Yeah. He's like a famous acoustic
No,
guitarist.
yeah, I
known for his long feet.
I
yeah,
guess.
sure. I mean, lots of people are known for lots of things. I guess, so we've brought you on here because you are, I would say, a well-known, what would be the word?
Entity?
I would say, I was going to say kind of like political activist in town. We wanted you to talk about your policies on air. Just, how do you feel, is abortion murder?
No.
Okay.
Does anyone... Okay, her name is Abby, in case the intro didn't tell you that. So Abby is on. Abby, can we say her last name?
White.
That's her name.
With a Y.
Abigail something White.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
White.
This has been terrible.
YT. Abby Whyte.
Wait.
What do you guys do today in Eugene, Oregon?
Okay, so I got up, right? And then I went back to bed.
Oh, here we
was
go.
Great.
I
It was so
I don't
exciting.
want to hear this.
No, it was awesome. And then at 5, when I thought we were recording around 7, so I was like, hey, Dan, when are we recording? And he said 6. And then I went over to Quick Fix to get coffee.
Oh,
yeah.
Quick Fix is great. Let's talk about Quick
They're
Fix.
That's
localers and
interesting.
Dutch Bros.
I knew yesterday that we were recording at 6. So.
Well, Dan said between 6 and 7. Dan asked me if we could record Thursday, and I said, yeah, anytime after 3, because I thought I had a guitar lesson. That got canceled, which is why I did nothing today. And then he was like, sure, like 7 o'clock. So then I just slept till 6.
Oh.
It says 6/7. 6/7. Anyway, listen, I'll take
an exciting day.
I'll take 40% of the blame. I've not done much today, but you know what? I'm seeing these deer, guys. It's winter in Eugene. We're seeing all these deer. We're seeing all these turkeys.
No, we're not.
We are up in the hills.
Okay.
You live in the middle of nowhere.
He thinks we live in the middle of nowhere.
You live in the middle of nowhere.
We don't.
You live on the edge of nowhere.
We live on the... Yeah, okay, give us the edge. He thinks 12
Past
minutes...
the edge.
He thinks 12 or 15 minute drive is like an hour.
It is far from here.
Yeah, it's far. Dan, let me ask you a question.
And yet I make that journey every podcast for you, Lars.
This is, well, because you moved. You asshole.
Abby is... She lives above you.
I know, yeah.
I was going to say we should call her Upstairs Abby.
Oh,
That's
like
fine.
as opposed to Downton Abbey.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What about Upton, then?
Upstairs.
No, Upton, like Kate Upton?
What about her?
Well, yeah. Not getting the reference.
Just
All right.
Downton, Upton? That's all. Yeah, it was just a little wordplay. Dan, this has been bugging me for as long as I've known you.
Oh, my hat's backwards?
No, although that does upset me too. No, you have this habit. I think it's because you have kind of a freelance job and you can do whatever you want. You're just constantly out of town. Always. Like, for instance, the last episode, which we uploaded on Saturday, which was a couple days late, I'll admit, only uploaded on Saturday because Dan was like, I'm going to be out of town until Monday night. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to upload it on Tuesday. And that's a consistent pattern. There was one week, I remember we recorded 2 episodes that week because you were gone the entire next week. Where do you go? What do you do?
That's a mystery.
You don't live here. You live somewhere. You're just constantly somewhere else.
I don't divulge my secret life on air.
I'd like to know your entire whereabouts. I actually, can I get like an anklet, one of those like prison trackers? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could you commit a crime that's bad enough to wear an anklet, but not bad enough to go to jail? And then can I have access to that anklet's data?
Maybe I am doing crimes.
Maybe you're doing like roadside cleanup.
All you need is like a bug. Just put a bug on his phone.
Oh yeah. Hey NSA, if you're listening, can you send me a link?
Send me that file.
Yeah, get me like a live feed. Get me the VOD or something.
Send that MP3 over.
Yeah.
Over this way.
Or OGG or Wave or M4A or W2.
I guess
whatever.
it wouldn't be an MP3.
I don't really care.
I was imagining it like recording all the sounds.
I only use FLV
of his day.
Lossless compression myself.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm all about lossless. I just prefer OGGs because I'm not a basic bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what is basic? Our segment.
I don't know what they're talking about
What
right
segment
now.
are we doing?
Listeners.
The drinky one.
Oh, should I play the theme? Why would you call our segment basic, Dan? That really hurts my feelings.
We do it basically every episode.
The peer-reviewed beer review.
So I was given notice that our guest is gluten-free. So we had to get something that wasn't actually beer.
Non-celiac.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're just a poser. Mad respect.
Clean eating.
Oh, sure.
Plant-based life.
She's also vegan right now.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, oh shit. That's gonna be a problem for us.
No, he's
Well, no, because most
Why, do we have to eat something?
we've got a cider here, and we got a cider because it's gluten free. But actually, most ciders have honey in them.
Oh, no, I can eat honey.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
it's-
So poser at
it's-
that too.
It's dairy-free, wheat-free,
Meat free.
meat-free.
Nice. That's a nice little rhyme.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going with that for now on.
Is there a term where you allow honey in your diet, kind of like pescatarians?
Polyvore?
There
Is it really polyvore?
No.
That sounds legit.
I know.
Believe it. It's believable.
I found out recently I'm a atheist, which is it's like whatever. What's that word? Portmanteau? I don't know.
Portmanteau.
Yeah.
Portmanteau. It's a portmanteau of apathy and atheism,
Oh.
and basically apathy.
Isn't that what
else.
agnostic is?
It's
Well,
you
That's
acknowledge.
not a good portmanteau. Both those words start with A, but your word starts with P.
I don't know what it is, but the point is what it means is you there could or couldn't be a god, but either way it doesn't affect you, so you don't care.
You're
Oh,
probably
sure.
trying to say atheist.
That's better. That's a better word.
might
Your
be
word's
atheist.
bad. Yeah, your word's bad.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I just learned it yesterday.
No, I agree with that kind of sentiment. I always say I'm agnostic because, like, I don't really agree with blind ignorance or blind belief. But then all the atheists who are like, well, there's not a god. Well, that's also not proven.
I've been
I just
watching
like
a
to be-
Viking show,
Oh, sure.
and I'm starting to feel like I relate a lot with the pagan
Oh yeah, but pagan's
belief
great.
system.
Those guys know what's going
I can
on.
get on board with that.
Yeah, it's all about ancestors. It's important.
Well, pagans and
important stuff.
Satanism, that's all about everyone just
About fucking.
be good to each other and do what brings you pleasure as long as
Dancing
you're not
around
harming
naked.
anyone. So Satanism and paganism,
Well,
You've got it down.
I'd love to get real deep and religious and alienate our entire audience, including the other agnostic people who think we've gone too far and not far enough. But I would like to talk about this drink real quick.
It's delicious.
We are currently in the process of drinking Woodchuck Hard Cider, Granny Smith. It's 5%. It does say gluten free on it, which is good because I was concerned if I picked one, I'd pick the one cider that had gluten in it. I actually made
Those
Dan pick
damn
this.
glutinous ciders.
I'm in Vermont, and I like Vermont because it's the East Coast Oregon.
Wow, that's so not local. Oh, well, if it makes the audience feel better, I am drinking Riverbend IPA over here. We're not reviewing it because it tastes like an IPA, and there's no point in reviewing it. But it is made in Oregon with Oregon hops, so a little localer than Dan's drink pick.
I saw it. Hey, listen, I like a good woodchuck on my drink.
Okay.
He's holding an apple.
So, we all know you've heard this show before, Abby. We know you're a long-time listener.
Oh yeah.
But for the first
Since
time,
day one.
Yeah. For the first-time listeners, because I think there's a new listener every episode. The way we review these, if you want to see the reviews, you can go to peerreviewedbeerreview.tumblr.com. That's where we post all of them.
Ooh, Tumblr, sexy.
It's free.
It's free. That's the main
free.
deal. Yeah.
But we have different rating systems. So Dan rates every drink on a scale between 0 and 5 Lars. Now that's a picture of my face. It looks pretty creepy. It's great. Super simple. He always rates 3.5 or 3, so you never really have to try. I rate between 0 and 300 stars. Now, that's a pain in the ass for Dan to do because it's always a different score, and he has to make the graphic. And it's a graphic with 300 stars, and some of them are shaded in.
Oh, yeah, all the vertices.
Mhm.
It's also excessive.
Some people think that 3.67 would be the same as 367, or 2.67, I guess. And those people don't understand that mine are real stars and mean something. 2.67, you got 2 stars and 67, whatever that is.
Oh.
In mine, you get 267 stars. You could do like
That
that
feels
on the cover of a
amazing.
movie. That it would just be stars. It'd be like the U.S. flag. It'd just be a sheet of stars.
I know if I was the cider company and I could choose between 2.67 stars and 267 stars, I would definitely choose 267 stars.
Thanks, Abby.
I also feel it carries more weight when I give something 0 or 10 or even really 100 stars. 100 stars is not a good score on my scale.
No,
it's an
that's
okay
like-
drink. I try not to give
Oh.
300 out too often. Like for me, that's a perfect drink, and I don't know if I've had a perfect drink yet.
Lars,
Right.
when you gave that root beer 300 stars, did you look at the peer-reviewed beer review blog?
No, I hadn't.
Because I made those stars golden.
Oh, you did? What?
Because it was a
That's so
perfect
cool.
score.
That was that's my favorite drink. We had I would say not a non-drinker, but certainly an under 21 person on our
They're called
show.
minors.
Oh, is that the word?
A mina.
So we did a Steelhead root beer review, which is an excellent drink. It really got a perfect score all around, except for one person, who we won't call out on air.
I was going to give it a perfect score until Lily mentioned that is not an authentic root beer. It is root beer flavored, essentially. It has art.
Ooh.
Right, but I mean that's how like any root beer you buy on this shelf is going to be. It's the same thing with like Barks or like A&W.
I agree, but as a root beer and sarsaparilla enthusiast, I had to hold it to a higher standard.
Well,
It's like, but is a Coke not really a Coke without Coke?
yes, yeah, I do prefer cocaine in all my drinks. Actually, that's why I've put cocaine in these ciders and these beers and this coffee I'm drinking over here.
Well, you know what?
Perfect.
Cocaine is not in this cider, and that's why I'm giving this cider a
Wait,
3 out of
there-
5 Lars.
Hold on, is there gluten in cocaine? I know there's like gasoline and shit, but is there gluten?
Who knows what could be cut in there? I think flour would be a great agent to cut cocaine with.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. Well, but what if it was like
Cornstarch.
I was gonna say rice flour. Is that the one? Rice
Yeah.
flour? Yeah. If it was
There might be
rice
some
flour.
very considerate
Mhm.
Coke manufacturers out there
Yeah,
that
they
are.
know. They understand.
I got enough Coke to kill an elephant. Wait, bro, did you put some gluten in that Coke?
Do you have enough Coke to kill a celiac though? Because that would be. It's 2017. You have to consider people.
Is this Coke gluten free?
Well,
Is this Coke vegan?
you better hope yours is, Abby.
Is it no, I can't think. I was what's that thing called? Like responsibly sourced,
Ethically.
ethically,
Fair trade.
Yeah, is it
No,
fair
you're thinking
trade? Coke?
cruelty free.
Cruelty free fair trade cocaine.
Abby, so on this segment, the peer-reviewed beer review, we already heard. I gave it 3 out of 5 Lars. Everyone comes up with their own rating system, including the guests. So what is your rating system
So-
for your beers and drinks?
So you get to pick a rating system, and then you get to rate the drink. We prefer blank out of blank because it's easy to do a graphic out of, like 8 out of 10 something or whatever. But you can pick whatever you want, and Dan will do the graphic. And we've had some abstract ones. Someone gave a drink a peanut butter cookie.
That was Ariel.
Yeah, it was Ariel. She also gave one of the frosted pink cookies, which was weird because it was a good drink, and I don't really like that cookie. But she really likes that cookie.
She likes those
Oh.
garbage cookies they sell at Albertsons.
I was thinking like the animal, like Mother's animal cookies.
Those would be better.
That's
No,
a good
she was-
frosted pink
She was
cookie.
thinking of like the monster cookie kind.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know Ariel. I know what cookies she was talking about.
Lars, what do you give this drink? This
Ooh.
woodchuck hard cider. From,
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. For green apple ciders, maybe it's the gluten that it doesn't have. There's something off about this. I don't love it.
I love it.
It has kind of. It's cold. That's what I like about it. It's cold. If this was warm, I wouldn't like it at
low
all.
standard.
So, no, I take a sip and I'm
That's
like,
how
oh,
I
that's
like my
refreshing.
beer cold.
No, the aftertaste kind of falls flat. It doesn't have any kind of the tart that you would expect from a Granny Smith or the bright that you would expect. It's really like it doesn't have any kind of dry
It is a little
cider
flat.
flavor notes, but
Mhm.
it's not really super sweet either. It just doesn't have any kind of secondary flavor notes. So I don't love this. I'm gonna give this 75 out of 300 stars.
I'm gonna say it's
Wait, Abby.
Oh.
We're gonna do a first ever here at Moments Ago Studios. We're gonna hear your review on Instagram live. It's gonna be great.
Well,
I'm nervous.
this is gonna be really awkward, like listening to the audio of this episode. I'll probably cut this out of the episode.
All right, Abby, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going with my gut and giving this 17 out of 21 boners.
17 out of 21 boners. All right. Live on the air. You heard it here. That is a good amount of boners.
Strong
boners. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to mess around. You
no
have to be careful.
halfsies.
Yeah.
Full on.
Half-mast.
Yeah.
No chub chubs.
These are ragers. 17 out of 21 ragers.
Yeah. So my description of the cider would be that I agree it's a little flat and there's no pan.
Yeah, there's
no
it doesn't
there's
it's not
nothing
remarkable.
you get nothing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say it's very smooth and it's very drinkable.
It's smooth, yeah. But for me, smooth is not that impressive at 5%. Like that Portland cider, that one is pretty smooth, but it's almost 7%. That's a little more impressive for me, is because it's like, PBR smooth,
Yes, this is I would say this is a drinkable cider. It doesn't even feel like shitty. I would say, I don't want to call it a Budweiser or a PBR, but maybe like a Sierra Nevada of ciders.
Of ciders?
Okay,
yeah.
Sure, yeah, it's the Sierra Nevada of ciders.
Good,
I could
drinkable.
agree with that.
Can you put that as a secondary rating on the website? Just like say she gave it 17 out of 21 boners, and also she rated it the Sierra Nevada of ciders.
If I can remember to.
Okay, well, I'll text
key.
you.
Luckily, we're recording this.
Yeah, the question is anyone gonna listen? I edit. I do like the Pinball Wizard. I just edit by sense of smell.
Hey, shout out to Dirty EUG on SoundCloud for sharing our sound files, for sharing our episodes.
Oh, dude, yeah, way to go, Dirty
Shout
Huge.
out.
Shout out, because it's difficult to get the word out there, especially when your guests won't share the episode.
None of them
I'll
share,
share it.
like,
I'll
or
share it.
retweet. They always say that.
I'm committed.
Just don't talk shit about that meat factory.
My
you work
fingers
for.
are crossed.
Oh yeah, we should mention that Abby is not only a gluten-free vegan, but she works for a meat manufacturing plant or butcher shop. I don't know.
A harvest facility.
A harvest facility that will go unnamed. Just think of any of the harvest facilities in Eugene.
Oh, sure,
There are
sure.
actually very many.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's a mystery then.
Harvest. Wait. Are we not talking about pot? We're talking about meat.
I'll tell you what. She likes to take people, friends, and people she just meets down to the
On
harvesting
the street.
plant to try to watch cows get butchered and try to convert them to veganism or whatever it is.
That's fantastic. Well,
I'm a vegan-Nazi.
Sure. On that subject, I'd also like to talk about something that happened on social media. This was actually a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but I forgot to do it for a couple episodes. We posted episode 12 on Instagram, and you know how it goes on Instagram. You post stuff under the podcast tag or the Eugene tag, and people come and like your stuff and follow you because they want you to follow them back, and then when you follow them back, they unfollow you.
It's so fake.
Yeah, but so we got a guy, and he commented, and he's the JB Podcast, and I'm calling out. Go at the JB Podcast. You could send him hate mail. I don't care. I'm calling him out, and he posts a comment on ours, and he says, "Decent post. If you fancy checking out my page, and if you're not already, drop me a follow. It's appreciated." He just goes on to talk about his whole show. Not even nice post. Not even like, oh, cool show. Decent post.
I know. I feel like that's like, you know how they have the hits blunt? That's like a hits pipe, but like an old man pipe. Like, decent post.
It's like
very decent post.
It's like the harshest thing too, because let's take a look at his. I'm gonna look at his Instagram. Oh yeah, it's absolute garbage. He doesn't have a professional graphic designer doing his shit. Look at that. That's
we have a
so
professional
bad.
graphic designer
Right here.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Do you see? That's like some shitty HDR stuff.
I can't see.
Sorry, I'm showing
you
it
know
around
what,
the
sir, Mr. JB Podcast? I highly doubt you even listen to our podcast.
I think so. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say it. Undecent post. Your posts are not good. Your posts are shitty. I called him out.
Well, he's been called out, and you know what? We're gonna switch to some Eugene news because you know who else got called out recently? A white supremacist who owns a dispensary.
Oh, I heard about that.
Ooh.
I have some inside sources.
Oh, that's right. Well, you know a bud tender, don't you?
I know two,
Oh, that's
You know,
exciting.
two bud tenders.
but I only heard about it from one.
I don't have my notes
one I'm
on me. I don't
banging.
have the articles open. All I know is first name Bethany. She and I guess her husband. They
Mr. Nazi.
Mr. Nazi, please. They have, like different Twitters and social media accounts that were spreading hate throughout Eugene, to which I saw a lot of people on KEZI and Facebook defending them as just being proud to be white.
Right.
And
I
then-
saw that. I was like one of the second comments down on that thing this morning.
Oh, yeah. KEZI comments are cancer.
Was this at all related to all that alt Eugene Reddit stuff, or is this?
So
it possibly could be.
Antifa, like the anti-fascist group in Eugene, just like apparently did a bunch of work to expose them and recently kind of expose them. So I don't know if it was related, but it was like this group just decided to release this recently.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how I feel about that because I'm not pro witch hunt. However, the people that were defending the white supremacist people are way off base because her name is Bethany. Her Twitter handle was actually 14th word. And I was like, what's 14th word? I Googled it, and it is the slogan of the white supremacist.
Wow.
Like
14th word?
14, because there's 14 words in it. Basically, the 14 words are something like, we must preserve the pure heritage of the white Aryan female or something. It's like 14 words that does that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Harsh.
apparently she was, she started the Women Leaders in Cannabis.
Oh.
And my friend Michaela just started attending those, but apparently she was kicked out of being the head of that. She was what do you call it, like overthrown or mutinied because she was a bitch. So but I feel like it was like she was probably starting the Women Leaders in Cannabis for ulterior motives, if you
Alternative.
will.
Building the
Sure.
foundation of her white supremacy bud network.
Right, yeah. It's all intertwined. They were probably like, we can just like grow cannabis and take over the world.
God, what a weird group to be also associated with hate. Like what? Like I feel like a lot of the time you meet someone and they're like homophobic and you're like, dude, like smoke a joint and then like you won't be homophobic anymore. But no, it turns out that pot can't cure everything.
No, once pot goes mainstream, pot's
It's not
on
cool.
the radar, and everyone's
People they're doing
all
it
the shit
just
that
like,
happens with all the other stuff is gonna happen with weed.
Yeah.
You have all that soon Marlboro. I don't know how to say it. It's difficult to say.
Marlboro.
They're gonna start making their own weed.
The
and then-
cigarettes,
yeah,
That's how you
Marlboro.
gotta do it, dude.
Marlboro. I worked at Rite Aid for a few years, and I would have people come in and just slur it. And it was always like
Marlboro.
Palma 100s, Marlboro. Right?
Palma.
I just didn't know how to say it. Anyway, that woman can rot in hell. I feel bad for. No, I don't really feel bad.
No, well, I'll tell you what.
So the Antifa people apparently like they'll release their. I heard this from Brent. He was a previous guest on a podcast.
I was gonna say that.
I'm actually gonna put the theme in when you say Brent. The people will be like, "Oh, that guy."
So he was telling me, because he's a bud tender, and he actually told me this story last night when he got home from work, and he was saying it's all the buzz going on right now at all the dispensaries. Everyone's talking about it because this lady, I don't know if you had said this earlier, but her and her husband owned a testing lab, and apparently it's where like Moss Crossings gets their weed tested. No scathe. Moss
Sure.
Crossings.
No, I know
It's
a guy.
it's a great dispensary.
I have a friend who works there actually.
Yeah, I've been there. It's awesome. I have their lighter. I love them. But apparently the Antifa people will like release your license plate. They'll release the color and like make and model of your car, like where you work, and like all your descriptors kind of, so everyone knows. They do their best to make so like everyone knows who you are.
How do you feel about that? Because I feel like some of it's excessive, but some of it feels justified. Like a name and last name, I can understand, but when they give their address,
Right, they gave their address.
I don't know about that.
I would say I'm on the record as not pro doxing, but I'm also on the record as not pro hate, and I might hate more than I hate doxing. You know?
Ooh.
So it's kind of
deep.
If you're gonna be on the record as a bigot of any kind, I think. Although actually, last week I was being bigoted towards grandparents, so maybe I shouldn't say that.
I heard comments about that.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Were people not happy with my grandparents?
a couple people.
Was it your grandparents?
No, my grandparents are all dead. That's why I went on the
Aw.
rant.
It was the ghosts.
I had a coworker who had me cover their shift. A 50-year-old guy whose wife's grandpa had a funeral, but the guy was like 97, and I just feel like there's a certain point where you don't get it. Like a step grandfather who's like 100 years old, I just don't think you get a day off for
You're
that.
gonna aggravate
Well,
them
like
again,
you're
Lars.
definitely not getting a sorry for your lost card or anything
I mean,
like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. I mean, look, what do I know? All my grandparents were dead before I was 20, so I didn't get to go to their funerals.
Well, it was
But-
this guy's wife's grandpa.
Yeah, his wife's grandpa.
So it's
not his dad.
It's not a parent.
He's not a parent.
Yeah.
And he has children in their 20s. And I think if he had his children 10 years earlier, he'd have grandchildren at this point. So it's already a great grandparent. They're almost 100. And if you
They
hit
lived a good life.
if you hit 100, maybe you get someone going to your funeral. Exactly. They know too many people. Not everyone has to go.
I understand maybe needing to take a day off or like go to the funeral, but I would say a huge deal shouldn't be made about it. But there is there's a like a ceremonious
Sure.
like pay your respects.
But you could do that on Facebook. You could just like a page. I mean, the thing that bugs me is that it was on Tuesday, which he had off for that, and they rescheduled it to Saturday, which he did not have off, and I had off.
I will say this. If you're 50 and your grandpa's 100,
Yeah.
you've known your grandpa for 50 years.
That's what I'm saying. You
But that is a 50-year relationship. Like it's different if you're like 2 when
But-
your grandparent dies.
But that's what I mean. His wife, who's corporate and has Saturday off, got to go. It's her dad. He didn't know that guy for 50 years. He knew that guy for maybe 30. I don't know how long they were married.
But he needs to support her.
This is-
I'll give you
I
the
bet people were
female
very
perspective.
upset about this, actually. Yeah.
I'm not upset, but
I might be a sociopath.
I'm playing
Dan.
devil's advocate for the listeners right now.
Well, you know what, you devils? I tried to do a smooth segue like that.
Wait, how long is this segment? It might be time for the
Well,
break.
we're 26 minutes in. I say we got one more thing to talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
before
do
the
one more thing.
Would you like to talk about the Eugene Secrets of Eugene, according to Eugene subreddit, or Abby? I know you're an avid lover of Mexican food.
Ooh.
We can list your top 5 Mexican joints in Eugene.
Ooh, that'd be impressive. First question: are they all in the Whitaker?
No,
Wow,
but one is.
really?
Yeah,
Only
one
one?
is.
There's like 100
I
Mexican
don't know if
places
it
in the
counts
Whitaker.
as the Whitaker.
I'd say Eugene's Little Mexico, and I'm doing this in air quotes, would be right outside of Whitaker.
yes.
Was that? Well,
yeah.
I was thinking
Between
like Blair's.
7th
Blair not
and
in the Whitaker?
6th. Yeah, on Blair.
Yeah. I was just in my head. That's all the Whitaker. All that kind of booming,
But like
with the Mexican store and the 17 taco places.
Yeah. Well, shall I take this away?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. If you want to do it in any order, people like to start with 5 and go to 1. Some people like to start with 1 and just ruin the suspense.
We
It's your
prefer
call.
going from 5 to 1, or at least saving the last 1 or 2.
Sometimes I like if you go like 5, 2, 4, 3, 1. Build a little tension, but then bring it back. However
Okay.
you want to do it.
I will start with this. I've been trying, so I love Mexican food,
Mhm.
and I've been trying to get around to. I've just recently moved here, quote unquote, 3 years ago. So I've been trying to get around to all these Mexican restaurants, and I've been trying to try the quote unquote shitty ones too to give them a fair shot. But there's a good amount in the area that I have not tried. So I'm gonna start off with the ones I haven't tried, so
Okay.
everyone can understand.
So people aren't like, but
My-
what about
my
that
frame of
restaurant?
reference. Yeah. So I have not tried Chapala.
You've missed nothing.
I feel the same way.
It's,
Yep.
it's historically bad.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Understandable.
do
You're
it.
brave.
Yeah. I have not tried Plaza Latina, which
Oh, I've been wanting to. I
Yeah.
hear their Taco Tuesday is amazing.
Yes, I've heard that too. And so I've heard they have really good food at the market at Plaza Latina. And so those are 2 that are on my list.
Have you tried Riva's?
I have tried Rivas.
Now,
Did not make the list.
no, it's not good.
As it shouldn't.
But you get a lot of food for like $10, and it's 24/7.
Yes.
And I saw they're under new ownership, grand reopening.
La Noria.
So
No, well, it's still called Riva's.
no,
but
they went to La Noria
it's back now.
and then they went back to Rivas, and I
But
don't.
I don't know. But all I know is that there's a giant banner outside that says all menu food half off. I think it's December 14th from 12 to 4. It's either 14th or 15th.
Ooh.
So keep that ahead because this episode will probably air before then. It'll probably air tomorrow. So anyone who's out there, I don't know the exact date, but you could drive by and look. you
Yeah,
know.
I saw they had the Rivas sign back.
I think So
So
I
there were
think
Rivas, then La Noria,
Noria, then
and
Rivas again.
Then there are Rivas now again, which feels better to me.
Yeah, because I've always called it Riva's.
Yeah, and the La Noria thing, it was like
I didn't understand.
I didn't
it.
get it. Yeah. So I'm
If you-
excited.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not good, but if it's 4 a.m., it's food.
I would say it's like the Taco Bell of authentic Mexican food.
Especially after Taco Bell's closed. It really is all about that 4 to 5 a.m. hour.
I'd say it's
Right,
the best
right.
place to go if you want a 12-year-old to take your order. Okay, Abby.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's give us your top 5.
So, Let me think about my 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta think it backwards.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Yeah, it's like who is the best, because this is, and I've said this to other guests before, this is permanent on the record and there's no backseas. If you say 4 and you say a restaurant name, that's 4 forever.
No, I was gonna say you can
can't change it.
backtrack
No,
because
you can't.
you've done that in the past.
No, in the past, I've been very strict about backseas.
Okay, and I also want to also provide this what do you call it? Disclaimer.
Sure.
I am a veg. So all the Mexican places I tried as a vegetarian because I only recently became vegan. So this is through the eyes and taste buds of a vegetarian.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, it's probably hard to eat Mexican food vegan because I assume the beans usually have lard in them.
And the gluten in the tortillas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Abby,
there's no gluten in the tortillas if they're corn.
Really?
Oh, if they're corn, yeah.
Oh, I'm a corn disliker. Abby, let me just say,
You're a
thank
corn
you,
disliker.
thank you for that disclaimer.
Yeah.
Because that can definitely skew the results of a top 5 Mexican restaurants.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
sure. I mean,
because I'm not gonna say the carne asada tacos are the best you've ever had.
Well,
I haven't had them.
What about the lengua?
I can't
That's
speak to the
tongue.
lengua.
Yeah. Well,
Not-
and I'm glad you said that because a lot of people have said that Rivas has really good huevos
I'm
rancheros.
talking about
But
Rivas.
if you don't like eggs.
No one wants to go to Rivas. And let me put one.
Sponsored by Rivas.
Let me
Fine
put one.
Mexican
Let me
food.
put one final disclaimer. Abby has a very sensitive palate for Mexican food because she comes from California, where the Mexican food is objectively better than the
Yeah.
Pacific North and
Fact.
Pacific Northwest. We have a specific style of Mexican food at many of our places here, and that's all I've got to say about that.
I would say Pacific Northwest, not good for Mexican food, not good for barbecue,
And no, definitely not. And my Kansas boyfriend is
Oh,
missing
he's
the
upset
very
about that.
sad.
Which
Brent.
is sad because it's not like Kansas has good barbecue, but it's much better than Pacific Northwest.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell him you said that.
I feel like we talked about that on air.
Oh, okay.
I think he agreed. It's
Ooh, I don't
closer.
know.
It's closer to good barbecue.
He thinks they have the best Mexican food ever too.
Kansas.
So I'm
Okay.
going in January. I'll let you guys know.
That's a little weird that he'd think
We should bring
the Wizard of Oz would make better burritos than anyone else.
We should bring Brent back. He was fun.
Okay,
That's
Abby.
a Kanye you.
So,
Okay, for the listener, we are officially going in the top 5. We apologize for this long prologue.
That's the fun part about the show, Dan.
Come on, Abby.
everyone likes the banter in between.
Yeah.
Banter.
Only good part. That's why I should start recording the break because it's when the good stuff happens.
Okay, so I'm struggling to think of a 5. I've got my top 4.
Start
so
with
I'm
4.
okay, and then maybe I'll figure out my 5 later. So we're gonna do this unconventional 4 down to 1 and then back to 5.
Yeah, that sounds good. I
So
like it.
for 4, I've got El Super Taco on West 11th.
Okay.
They've got decent food. The only things I've gotten there is a veggie burrito and nachos.
Sure.
And they are, about 2 minutes from where I work. And so I go there as an easy option that I can always count on. And they execute. It's fine. And I will say they have a lovely bar of, the hot carrots and the jalapenos,
salsa and the-
peppers, and
Does the price point play into this at all? Do you think they're an adequate price? Are they a little?
They're pretty cheap.
I will say they're cheap, but they're not as cheap as my number 3.
There it is. Look at that.
We know what's coming.
So my number 3 is El Super Burrito.
There it is.
South
Yes.
Eugene represent. We all love Super Burrito.
We here at the podcast live a block away from El Super Burrito. So we're a little biased probably.
Oh, they're so nice there.
They are very nice.
The food is very decent. I would say it's typical what I would get in California. Fast, cheap Mexican food.
Yep.
It's
Consistent.
It's exactly what you expect, and yeah, it's consistent.
Yeah, consistent's a good word. I have said, in the past, I don't think it's not great. It's okay. It's fine, but it's so cheap. And I know
They're
they
not
raised the
going
prices.
above and beyond for
Yeah,
sure.
they raised the prices last year, like about $1.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But honestly, it was like $4 for a veggie burrito before. It was too cheap.
No,
It
yeah,
was
I felt
alarmingly
guilty.
cheap.
Like I was like, "Are you guys making money
I
off
honestly,
of this?"
I feel like they have, like Dan said, they got the 12-year-olds at the counter, and you're like, are you guys slaves? Like, low-key, like, how are they making the
There's
money?
no 12-year-olds at Super Burrito. They hire.
Like 15.
Super Burrito does have like a 17-year-old.
There's that
Yeah.
one.
She's petite, so
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
she
yeah.
just appears young, but she could be.
Well, I feel like any of those kind of family-owned restaurants, you get that. It's the same thing with the Burrito Amigos over in South Eugene. You always see someone who's like, how old are you?
Yeah, and I've noticed with the change in the prices, they also changed maybe like the scheduling because now when I go, there's 2 different ladies working. They're very efficient and they're really good. And they have good horchata, and that's another measurement of a good Mexican restaurant for me.
I've never tried the horchata. Although I'll tell you what, they have Doritos, and that's always. I mean, most Mexican restaurants have that, but I can't.
They have good
fuck
variety
around with
though.
people who don't. Yeah, they have like 8 flavors.
Yeah, they do.
You're gonna have
they
it,
really, yeah.
Also, your number 3, they have curly fries.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they got the they do the Oregon. A lot of people do the Oregon burrito,
Something
but they
for
do it
everybody.
with the French fries. So
Yeah. No, if I want Mexican, but I also just want some greasy thing, salty, greasy potato.
And they hook you up with those curly fries. You don't get like a little amount. You
No,
get a
yeah.
good amount.
I'm disgusted with myself by the end, and I can't eat the last 5 fries.
usually, if I get an Oregon burrito, I'll do substitute pico for sour cream, and like half the time they don't charge me. Or like the menu says 75 cents, so they charge me 25 cents. And
So I have this method when I go to Mexican restaurants because what I like to do is I don't like the guacamole.
Sure.
I don't like the blended up
No, I feel
avocado.
I'm exactly the same way. Whenever I'll try to add avocado to the burrito, and they'll be like guacamole, and I'll be like, no, I don't fucking.
No, I don't want your fucking
want
mashed up
avocado.
5-day-old avocado.
Yeah, I don't want onions. I want avocado.
Right.
Honestly, guacamole for me worse than Nazis.
Whoa.
I'll say it. I'm not saying Nazis are good. I'm just saying guacamole is bad.
That's the controversial claim.
Those are strong feelings.
So that's. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I will talk about the substitution thing, and I'll come right back. I promise.
Go for it.
So, I like to do a technique when I want to substitute something because I always like to substitute rice for guacamole because for some reason vegetarians back me up here. But when you go to a Mexican restaurant, there's beans on everything, but not always rice. They make sure to get the beans in there. I don't know what's going on with the rice, but I like the rice because I need a textural thing to keep it a little bit even. The beans with everything, it gets very mushy. So
Sure, that's fair.
I want the rice in there to balance out the dry to wet ratio. So I always try to do this thing where I go, I would like the veggie burrito, and instead of guacamole, can I have rice? Because if you do it no guacamole, add rice,
They'll charge you.
you're taking a risk.
You're taking a risk. Yeah, it's a solid play. I feel like it's gonna pay off if you're going for an item that would be like guacamole would be 75 cents if it wasn't on the burrito.
And I feel like guacamole is more expensive than rice.
If
No brainer.
if you're going for a pay for item, I don't know if that works as well with pico and sour cream because I feel like pico is usually there and no one wants it. You have to pay for sour cream, but it's worth a try. I definitely try it next time.
yeah.
Like instead of pico, add sour.
I just wish all the toppings were interchangeable.
Yeah,
Like if
they
you're
should be,
getting
yeah.
one topping off, you should be able to get another topping on.
Especially if
Equal
it's-
price.
I feel like with
If
sour
it's
cream too, because
or
it's
less.
like
If
you're
it's a
getting 10 cents worth
normal
of sour
topping.
cream, you know,
Yeah.
like
And they buy that stuff in bulk. Like honestly, the
probably have
pico,
a tub.
somebody is back in there chopping onions and tomatoes and cilantro and making pico de gallo. And
mean,
the
this
sour
is-
cream, somebody's just getting it out of a jar and plopping it on there with a spoon.
Right, exactly. And like you said, they probably have like a 5-gallon tub or something. I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably buying it super
They're
bulk.
saving so much in labor on that sour cream.
Lightning question, Babby. What's your preferred salsa? Pico, salsa,
Babby.
tomatillo. What did I call her?
For
Abby.
Whatever.
For chips?
For chips.
Pico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're number 2.
I thought that was going to be your lightning question.
I like pico myself.
Lightning question. What's your number one?
So my number 2 would have to be the taco truck that comes to my work, Evangelina's Taqueria, or we call it Ava's.
Is that different from the taco truck I see in the Whitaker sometime?
I don't know.
I guess I don't. I need to learn the
I
names of the
can't
taco
tell you.
trucks. Yeah.
Cannot tell. But there are a lot of taco trucks that are just people's names.
There are a lot of taco trucks in this town.
Yeah. So this one's Ava's, and I really think she mostly just goes to our company and maybe another company in town. I don't think she's there for just the common public. But if you want to come get some tacos or burritos, you gotta come at 10, down to an undisclosed place.
Sure.
So-
yeah. A butchery of sorts.
I'm looking it up now. I want to find this truck. Or at the very least, let me know next time you're at your lunch hour and I will come by.
Okay. Well,
and I
she
will
comes
try
at
this.
10.
a.m.?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, right.
Who's awake then?
Dan
Well-
can't even get here at 6.
What people do is they get their lunch on their first break, and then they order their first meal, and then they order another thing like to go for later, and then they keep that in the break room and they eat that on their lunch.
Oh, so they have like a little snack and then a lunch. That's clever.
Yeah. So they get like some tacos, and then they'll get like a torta for later.
Oh, nice. Now, how are the tortas?
I have not had those actually.
I will say this is the one-
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, they're mostly meat, aren't
Well,
they?
but it's just the bread because
Yeah.
I'm not eating gluten. But I totally could have gotten one previously.
I will say that's the El Super Burrito's torta was gross.
What? I
That's-
love their
Oh.
tortas.
I didn't like it. It was weird and soggy. I love the Burrito Amigos one, so like I've got that, and that for me
I don't like Burrito Amigos.
Do you like their torta?
I like
wow.
Burrito Amigos. I recognize they're not authentic in any way, but I like their food.
No, but as far as like they're better than Burrito Boy and Los Farolas. Like if you're in that kind
I like
of
Burrito Boy better.
I like
Whoa.
Burrito Boy
But-
better too.
I've only ever gotten their breakfast burritos.
Okay.
And
Well-
Burrito Amigos definitely uses powdered eggs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that being a thing.
Yeah.
That's not good. I don't really eat the breakfast burritos.
I think we
That-
should have like a taste test of a Burrito Amigos
Yeah.
breakfast burrito and Burrito Boy's
We
breakfast
could do
burrito.
that. Let's arrange that. Let's get like 6 breakfast burritos. You know.
Yeah, we could try Taco Bell's.
There's that guy.
I love Taco Bell's
I know
breakfast.
my number 5.
Is it Taco Bell?
You
Oh,
can't put
can I
Taco
do
Bell.
that?
It's
Yeah, why
Mexican
not?
inspired. It's not actually Mexican food.
But I love
Well,
it.
we gotta finish this list and go to the break. So I think it's okay to put Taco Bell 5.
So my number 1 is Mi Tierra Market
Yeah.
on Blair and
Mi
between
Tierra.
6th and 7th.
Meteor is great.
Wait,
And that-
okay, so now is that the grocery store? Like
Yes.
the little okay, so
Right
they have
next to
tacos too. Oh, it's next to it.
right next to it's like the same.
I've been to the place that's next to it. Is it the same owner then?
No, that's a different taco.
There's a different taco. So
Yeah.
the market itself sells
The
tacos.
market next door to the market is a restaurant.
It's a market, and then there's a
Restaurant.
restaurant, but its name has the word market in it.
I don't know.
I'm so confused. Do they
So
sell produce at this?
So there's a market, and
Yes.
shared with the market is a restaurant.
Yes.
Very small.
But there's also a little truck out front that makes like handmade
Okay.
tortillas. So I thought that was what you were talking about.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm talking about the next door.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
This is what I'm saying. We haven't even talked about like Taco Locos or Taco Vor. There's so many taco places in the Whitaker. I mean, it's close to 100,000.
And just like trucks. There's like
Mhm.
there's Burrito Girl.
Oh sure.
oh yeah.
Yeah, which is another just independent, no relation to Burrito Boy, no relation to
I'm a fan of Sandwich
El
League
Super
myself.
That's not a
Unrelated. It's
burrito.
not Mexican. No, I just
Is
like the
that
Sandwich
Mexican?
League. No, I just like it. Well, I thought we were just naming trucks.
Are we
in the
just
Whitaker.
going on trucks we
You know,
like
you know
now?
what I would call Little Mexico in Eugene? I'd say it's anywhere between 3 and 5 blocks of Plaza Latina is where you're gonna find like the tacos and burritos.
Yeah. Mi Tierra to Plaza Latina.
Yeah.
That stretch.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
Meteor is great.
So what I like about Mi Tierra is that my litmus test for a good Mexican restaurant where you sit down and eat is a chili relleno.
Oh, sure, classic.
And that is how I test every restaurant that I go to
Interesting
is with a
tactic.
chili relleno. This is my favorite dish. And
Sure.
everyone probably tests every restaurant they go to with their favorite dish of
I base mine on the salsa bar, and Meteor has a great salsa bar.
they do
Could you
have a
imagine
great
if
salsa
you went
bar.
in and you were like, I want a shrimp taco. I hate them, but I might hate yours less. Like, I want to test the worst thing.
Yeah.
that's your worst thing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because then it's an unbiased test.
No, and like I've heard some places have like this place has a great chicken burrito but not a good steak one, and this place has a good steak burrito and not a good chicken one, and that's the beauty of America is we can just go wherever we want to go depending on what
I'd argue.
best item they have to offer.
I'd argue, and I mean, I'm no authority on this, but as far as authentic Mexican goes in Eugene, Meteor is really high at the top.
Very, very high.
I've lived in California for almost a year, and I ate a lot of Mexican trucks, and it tasted not exactly the same. Of course, it was better down there, but Meteor was very close. And one of the things
Homemade
I noticed,
tortillas.
yeah, and they're very the sauce thing, like the salsa bar. When I was down there, everyone was very particular about having good and lots of salsas and sauces.
Yeah, if a Mexican restaurant skimps on the salsas, and that's a down point for El Super Burrito.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't have
for
a lot of
sure.
salsas.
No, but it's the fact that they say, "Are you gonna have salsa?" and then you say yes, and they give you 2 cups for salsa.
Oh.
You know, and they make you feel a little bit weird about taking too much salsa.
Oh.
And the condiments issue with any restaurant. Like, how many times have you gone to like a Jack in the Box or a Wendy's and you're like, I need some ranch, and they give you 2 ranches, and you're like, I ordered 17 fucking things.
yeah, like what is that?
I'm gonna dip all 17. I'm gonna use 2 ranches
Like
for
you don't
17
understand.
items.
I'm trying to eat 5,000 calories here. I need the ranch.
Like I'm trying to dip my entire meal bite by bite into ranch dressing.
You're here
And-
for the ranch, really.
Right, or the barbecue sauce or whatever floats your boat.
Well, on that same spectrum, I'm going to give Burrito Boy a thumbs up because they provide fried dipping sauce and ranch sauce in their taco salsa bar.
Oh, like mayonnaise and ketchup?
They have mayo, ketchup, and they also have like a fry
Fancy
sauce
sauce?
type stuff. Yeah, like Thousand
That's
Island.
so unauthentic.
It is, but I love it.
Well, on that note, we're going to take it to the latest break we've ever done in this series. And we'll come back
Because
after
I
that.
talk a lot.
Well, I don't know. I feel like maybe that segment could have waited, but Dan really rushed it in there, and that's okay.
Hey,
'cause
we
it was
got it.
entertaining.
We got it.
And I'm not going to cut any of this. This is all good. Dan always wants to tell me to cut stuff, and it's always the good stuff. And it's like he
Ooh,
has
don't
no
let
taste.
him cut anything behind my back. That's shady.
I have a request.
Okay.
Classic camp morning wake up. Dun 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 dun. What? Abby is our guest today. She is our guest right now. Yeah, she is our guest right now. Dun 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 dun. What up, Eugene? Yo yo. Dun 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 dun. No.
Holy shit, Dan, we have break music this time. How exciting is that? We had our first ever guest who admitted on air that they knew how to play a brass instrument. Not the trombone that I had, but a similar instrument, so they tried it out. And, I think I'd say overall probably sounded good. I haven't
The
heard it yet.
embouchure's still tight.
It's,
Still got it.
more than I do. I tried after that. My lips were like,
I don't know about this instrument terminology. You guys keep talking about vibrations in your mouth and then greasing it up and then it's tight.
well, so embouchure, Dan, is
Dan's
a
very
word.
dirty.
Is a word that means the shape of your mouth needed to create I would say a good sound. It's different for every instrument.
I almost went like this.
She did.
I remember for clarinet, for clarinet and saxophone, they always tell you to tighten the corners, but they never tell you what that means. So you're sitting there like, what am I trying to do with your mouth?
Once you get it,
Okay.
you got it. Though.
That clears
it's,
things
it's
up.
like
For what-
working
yeah.
for your mouth, Like once you've got it,
Once you get it, it's
You
pretty
got
easy. But it can
but
take
you
a
have
while.
to develop those muscles.
And it's a very hard thing to teach someone at first. It's kind of, you just have to like blow into the instrument until a sound comes out. It's like learning how to whistle, kind of.
Blow and tighten.
Yeah. But so with brass instruments, you create a vibration on your lips that vibrates through the whole instrument. So in other instruments, you blow through and there's a certain way you shape the air of your mouth. With brass, you literally have to go.
Whoa.
Like
Sounds like a trombone.
It's like farting in pitch, but
You
then
have
it
to
vibrates through the bell of the
change.
instrument. Yeah.
You have to change your mouth, the way that you're holding your mouth to change the pitch.
Yeah. There's like 5 or 6 of them, depending on how high you can go or how talented you are.
Like a didgeridoo.
No, on didgeridoo you only played the note.
I can't even play a didgeridoo.
What note did you play?
Probably because my embouchure is too tight.
I'm too
You
advanced.
played a B flat on your didgeridoo. Dude, that's the only note you can do.
Well, you know what? Abby can play the trombone, but can she play one of
No,
our
I
hardest
can't.
games on What Up Eugene?
Oh my god, Dan! Before I'm gonna let you finish. Before you do, I just took I've been drinking the IPA and the cider this whole time, and I just took a sip of what I thought was the cider, and that really freaked me out. I was like, "That's the weirdest thing." Oh wait, it's the other drink.
Get it together, drunkie.
Okay, well, said the alcoholic.
I'm not.
I'm
an
chasing my
alcoholic.
Knob Creek with my woodchuck.
How much wood? Actually, here comes our next theme.
I think that's why they named it this way.
Abby, you've
Yes.
eaten at restaurants in Eugene, but have you been to a lot of them?
I don't know.
Here it comes.
I hope so.
Okay, Noodle. Find me a restaurant in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay. I am finding you restaurants in Eugene, Oregon.
Thanks.
I think I added some reverb to that to soften it because it was so punchy. It really hurt my ears listening to that.
Are you ready to play OK Noodle, Abby?
I think so.
Okay, so in this game, I've gone onto Google, searching under Eugene, Oregon for restaurants. And what Google does is it aggregates like a list of restaurants with brief descriptions that are either made up by Google or people who submit brief descriptions of restaurants to Google. What I'm going to do is read you one by one different restaurant descriptions, which can often be vague, and see if you can guess which restaurant in Eugene, Oregon it's referring to.
The rules are there are 5 questions. If you get 2 correct, you get a prize from the prize bag.
Ooh.
Every correct after that is an additional prize for a possible max of 4 prizes if you get all 5 correct.
I love prizes and I'm very
You
competitive.
get 1 lifeline, which is me. So if there's
Oh.
one you don't know and I definitely know, I can answer it for you.
And I'm going to know what it is based on the comment.
Yeah, they're gonna describe it, and you have to know what restaurant that is. They should be pretty clear. Some of them can be kind of hard to tell, but
And it's not a chain.
No. Well, it could be a local chain, or it could be a chain within like Oregon.
But it's
Pacific
not
Northwest.
a fast food chain.
it wouldn't be McDonald's or Burger King.
Okay.
Although we recently learned that Taco Time was founded in Eugene.
Yes,
I'm sure
and
it was.
also Best of Eugene voted at least one chain best, which pissed me off.
Yeah,
endlessly.
Register Guard does that too.
Yeah.
Register Guard does that heavily, and that's why they are.
I do not trust their metrics.
Yeah. Well, I heard you don't trust their politics either, but you didn't address your political opinion.
Okay, to play OK Noodle, I need to hear your OK to play.
I'm okay.
Cue that theme, Lars.
Question 1. Abby, this restaurant is described as colorful cafe with comfy booths and counter stools for home-style vegan grub with organic ingredients. You need a reread.
I'm between two. Booths. Oh, Cornbread Cafe.
Final answer?
Yes.
Correct.
That would be correct. See, I knew that one. I knew.
Yay. The booths.
Yeah, it's the booth that.
Yeah.
Plus, also, I only know one vegan restaurant.
Oh.
So
You're already halfway to getting at least one prize.
yeah.
Sweet.
You have to get at least one of the next 4 correct.
Wow.
Okay. Restaurant number 2. Fish and chips are presented along with other seafood dishes at this folksy, enduring eatery/market.
Ooh.
Is that?
Name that restaurant.
Ooh, that's a tricky one.
Ooh. Deep Sea Delights?
Ooh, is that your final answer? And do you need a lifeline?
Well, there's like the fish market or whatever it's called. I will use my lifeline for the prize.
I think you can buy fish at several of the fish and chips locations in town.
Oh, I know what it is.
One of them has the word market in its name, and that would be Newman's Fish Market.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Newman's Fish Market.
There's an actual market inside. You can go
Final
indoors.
answer?
Yes.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Newman's Fish Market is closed
Wait, what?
completely, in case you didn't know. And secondly,
I did not know. Hold on, I did not
secondly-
know. Rewind. What?
Secondly,
That's
No,
sad.
hold on. No, you
Brent's
don't.
gonna be sad.
Don't slur past.
from what I
this.
hear, let me look it up.
Yeah, prove it. I would like proof.
I have not heard that.
Who's making the marinara sauce?
And Brent and I were gonna go there on Sunday, and they were open. According to Google.
recently?
Yeah, on Sunday.
Dan might be a liar. He might be a sack of shit. Was it just the market that closed?
What was the real answer?
Okay, they're still open. The real answer. The real answer.
Was it the one in the Whitaker? I can't remember the name.
It's not. Well, it's like outside Whitaker.
Yeah, no, that whole area is the Whitaker, and
Really?
it's weird that you don't think that's.
So
yes.
from 6th Street on.
Blair, yeah, all of that.
I feel like once you
All of
cross 6th Street over to...
all those, they're not North Eugene, but that's all still the Whitaker. Yeah.
I don't think it's... I think the Whitaker is north of 6th.
I'd say it's north of 5th myself.
North of
I don't
6th.
think so. I think I disagree.
We'll have to
with
look up.
that.
There's an official map. We'll look it up.
Sure.
But
6th is where Beer Garden and
it's-
7-Eleven is
It's like
on.
it's like the metro. It's like the area outside. Like what? Like if I'm gonna name an area.
It's the metro of the Whitaker.
Yeah. Right.
Whitaker metropolitan area.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, for the purposes
surrounding
of
area.
this, the description of this restaurant was actually referring to Fisherman's Market.
Oh shit! Oh, that one has the name market in it too. I never remember the name
I
of that
thought
one.
that was
You
what-
almost said it, yeah. And Deep Sea Delights, although a wonderful booth at the Oregon Country Fair, is not an established restaurant.
What got me was folksy.
Folksy, yeah.
And I
I,
was
wouldn't
like-
call Fisherman's Market
I wouldn't
folksy.
call either one Newman's or Fisherman. They both have market in the name, but Newman's has like a full-on like grocery store style market. You go and they sell like pasta and pasta sauce. I mean, they have aisles and then also fish. So that kind of threw me over the top. Is it's not most fish stores. I think you can buy fish too because they have it. Newman's is a full-on market. You can.
I've
go
been
and
meaning
shop
to
at.
go to Fisherman's Market because Brent and I have a deal that if dire straits call for it, I will eat fish for his happiness.
Ooh.
That's right, yeah. You said previous to your newly found veganism/gluten-freenism, you were vegetarian with the exception of fish tacos, almost making you a pescatarian except just for fish tacos.
It's only in a special occasion circumstance.
I hear their fish tacos are great, and in fact, they've kind of helped influence Deep Sea Delights fish tacos at the Oregon Country Fair.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
You mean fish tacos in general have influenced Deep Sea Delights fish tacos?
Perhaps.
Well, that was the worst use of a lifeline yet on the show. I've never been wrong before.
You have this time.
Well,
so you only have one.
Hey, once you said Newman's, I was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
I felt like it was Newman's. I'll tell you what, though. You get another lifeline.
It sounds
I might
like
be wrong
fishes
again.
and markets go together, so you can't use the market thing.
Yeah, you can. I'm still using the market thing.
Okay.
I'm defending that till I die.
Restaurant number 3. Japanese small plates, craft cocktails, and whiskeys offered in a stylish pub-like setting with a patio.
Izakaya Meiji. Final answer.
Correct.
Oh man, I was gonna say I've heard of this. I just didn't know the name.
Yeah, it's Izakaya Meiji. That one, I tossed.
I
you
don't
a,
like that place.
I tossed you a softball. You know what, Izakaya Meiji?
Toss me a softball.
I feel like they won best new restaurant for their
Oh,
food.
that's what we were talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the gin bar. Yeah, I heard.
So
I
from my
disagree.
vegetarian, not vegan, vegetarian perspective, eating gluten perspective, their food sucked.
Well, there you have it. You know.
I'd say their food doesn't suck, but it doesn't deserve the best restaurant in Eugene food.
My friend loves sushi, and he got like the sushi burger or whatever. He always gets that for some reason, but he loves sushi, and he said it was and everyone felt like their stuff was
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Sushi Domo, and I just
Yes,
want Studio
Sushi
3
Domo's
back, or three Square, whatever that cafe was. They still have the 3 square chairs in there, and it really drives me crazy because why do your chairs have a 3 and a square on them? Your Sushi Domo, that doesn't make any sense. Buy
what
new chairs.
cheap bastards.
My thing with Izakaya is I got a burger there
They can
without
afford it.
fries, and it cost $8 or $9 for a small burger without
Ooh,
fries.
Jesus Christ.
And it was just okay. You know, I'd
That's
rather.
what I'm saying. Izakaya Meiji. Just
Izakaya Meiji.
okay.
Shout out Sushi Ya, pretty good
Yeah,
sushi.
yeah.
Not too expensive. I like
Ya.
it. They're right over by the Whole Center.
Izakaya is all
and
about the atmosphere.
You can get food for pickup to go there.
Yeah,
Like I just get
they
my
carry
food for
out.
takeout, and they're so friendly. Like, what do you need?
Their customer service
I've
is
asked
brilliant.
for extra wasabi. They're like, oh yeah, we'll get you extra. It was like they hooked it up with wasabi.
You know, I've seen one of the booths they have, which is kind of out of sight, has like a little doorbell you can ring for service. I've never once needed it because they're always there when I need them. Their service
No,
is
they have
on
great
point.
service. Sushi Domo, terrible service.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, fuck Sushi Domo is kind
Yeah.
of the point of the show.
Yeah.
It took 15 episodes to say it, to get up the courage.
So, Abby, you have 2 out of 5. You already have 1 prize in the bag.
One
prize.
prize on lockdown.
And you have
Yep.
forfeited, by getting 2 already, you have forfeited your lifeline.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yep, I'm
It's
fine.
not a very good lifeline.
I feel good about it.
Okay.
I forfeited my fish lifeline.
You have 2 left. Here's number 4.
line.
Fish line.
Rustic chic kitchen offering organic American cuisine, plus craft sodas and alcoholic drinks.
Fuck, say that one
It
more
gets
time.
harder. It gets more.
That is
It's
very, very difficult.
It gets more vague as it
One
goes
more
on,
time.
but really pick out the words. Rustic chic kitchen offering organic American cuisine, plus craft sodas and alcoholic drinks.
I would like you to define both the words rustic and chic for the audience.
Rustic is like looks poor, but it was really expensive.
Okay. Chic?
Chic, it is like style.
Okay.
Oh, craft sodas. I feel like
I feel like
there's
that's the clue, but
I feel like there's a hint in the
Chic means it's in
craft
style.
sodas.
That's a clue for sure, but I don't know. I don't know of anyone in town that does. I've never been to somewhere that was like, oh, here are
So-
craft sodas.
I know there's the vintage, which leads me to
That sounds rustic,
rustic
and chic.
and chic.
Yeah, I believe you there.
And it is American.
Do they have alcohol? Because that's the
They
vague. They
have
sell
alcohol. I don't know about craft sodas.
What does that mean? Is that like okay, for instance, if it's just root beer on tap, like Steelhead has that, but if it's like unique,
I think it means they take simple syrup and they take carbonated water and they mix that together.
like
and they-
Italian soda?
Yeah,
I
basically.
guess. Well, I don't know. Craft soda makes it sound like they're making their own soda. Like they have unique recipes you can only get there or something.
Yeah. What about rye?
Ooh, they are.
I've never been there.
I've,
See, this
I've
is
been
what-
there. I've been there.
I don't. The menu.
I'm worried about the places that I've
see.
never been.
I'll give you one.
I
I'm
went
gonna
to
give you
Rye
one hint.
one time as well. I don't
Have I
think they
been
had-
there?
It's not rye. That's
Yeah.
why I'll give you the hint.
I was gonna say they don't have. If they have craft sodas, they don't really talk
Like,
about it.
see, that's yeah. I'm worried.
Rye is a bottle of wine restaurant, so that's kind of.
Rye's,
Oh, okay.
Rye's good for like fancy dates and good business meetings, but I would not eat there on a regular basis because
It's
you're
very
playing a lot for a lot of expensive.
So I have a
appetizers.
friend whose friend that she thought was gay asked her to go to drinks at Rye.
Oh,
I think I told you
jeez.
this story.
Oh.
And I was like, are you sure he's gay? Because, like, he asked you to go to Rye. And
Yeah,
I've never
that's-
even been there, but I just knew.
Yeah, that's.
Rye's pretty. What's the word when you yacked fancy, but you quite?
I would
it starts
say
with a P.
Hoity-toity.
Rye.
Oh,
Rye is definitely. I'm spending
pomp and stance?
It's a I'm spending $100 restaurant. That's what Rye is.
Yeah, Rye's expensive. It's good. I've
It's
been
good.
there.
It's great. It's nice. Is it $20 plus entree nice? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Sounds like I would hate it.
Okay, so what are you gonna say for this one?
I'm going with the vintage.
Not a bad guess, but incorrect.
I'm so curious. Who has
This
craft
is
sodas.
referring to Party Downtown.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I just heard their ad on the radio the other day too.
Party Downtown. It's right next to the the National Tap House, between National
First
Tap House
National
and
Tap
and
House.
like Lazar's and somewhere else, I think.
Oh,
It's
okay.
behind First National Tap House.
Okay. Oh, like in the
It's-
U.S. Bank parking lot?
Next to Lazar's Bazaar.
It's right in Bermuda.
Behind.
Yeah.
And I've been there a couple years ago, and I was not impressed by the prices because I paid all of us paid $8 or $9 for less than a teacup of their quote unquote bourbon punch in honor of Mardi Gras, and it was literally a fourth of a cup.
That's alarming. Well, you've got 2 down, 2 up, 1 to go. Here's your chance at a second prize
Woo!
out of the prize bag. And by the way, Dan, I want you to know I've nicknamed this show or this segment of the show Noodle Zone because I couldn't remember the name you came up for.
Noodle Zone.
So the track where I play the theme is Noodle Zone.
Okay, I feel kind of bad because I'm gonna throw back a lifeline because this last one is gonna be kind of difficult, and I wanna help Abby out.
Can it be phone a friend because I should not be the lifeline?
It'll be phone a friend.
I can phone a friend. How exciting.
Okay,
You just have to figure out how to record their audio.
this last
I can play it on
restaurant.
speaker.
Yeah, if it'll work. I've had issues recording phones before. It's hard to get it
Okay.
sound. It has to sound good.
This
Okay.
last restaurant is described as easygoing locavore pub offering sandwiches, organic salads, and craft beer, plus canned pickles and jams.
The Cannery.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
You got it right.
Yay!
Wow, there
I
we
can't
go.
believe it. Is it the pickled jams? that you
Yeah,
did?
Can?
yeah.
Shit,
Wow.
okay.
What I learn about this show every time, Dan, is how little time of my life I actually spend in Eugene. 20 plus years, and I don't go to these places.
I will say this. I love the Cannery. A great restaurant. It's a great restaurant.
You know-
Anyone can go. Like,
Do you know what the
everyone-
cannery used to be?
It used to be a rest. It used to be like the Vintage or
It
something.
used to be the beer stein.
Okay, yeah, it used to be a restaurant that moved.
Yeah, I remember when the beer sign was over there.
Yeah.
By the way, it was better then. Like Off the Waffle, as they expand and
Beer
it gets
Stein
more.
sucks.
I mean, I don't hate it, but it is like every time I go in, I'm like,
Don't
wow,
get
I
their
can have a
hummus plate.
pretzel. I can have a pretzel for $4, or I can pay
I got an
$13 for a
Ipsy bag.
sandwich.
You don't get an Ipsy bag.
No, that's the prize bag.
This is the
You get
don't look in.
one
Don't look
item.
in. You get a
Two
grab.
items. Two
You get a
items.
grab. You've won 2 prizes, Abby, because
prizes.
you
Oh,
nailed it.
Wow.
You nailed it on that cannery, and I was surprised. But you nailed it. You get 2 prizes.
I can
You
tell what some of these
You gotta
prizes
research,
are.
Dan. You gotta research your guests and pick restaurants they don't like next time.
I thought
Research
the cannery's not incredibly well known.
But is it vegan friendly when you're dealing with someone who's a very picky eater? And
I've been
I'll
there-
say picky eater on air.
I've been there once, and it was good. I just had an appetizer. I think I had like a soup and fries.
Fidget
Look at
spinner.
that. That is a black Walmart fidget spinner.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it
this
works.
like, is this your prize fidget spinner?
He just put that in.
No, I
Fresh
did.
prize.
I actually have 2. I bought 2 at Walmart, and I never do 2 at once. So
Oh,
go for it. That's
listen up, ladies.
yeah.
you know
there
when
it
you
is.
you know when you see
Never
the,
2 at once.
Coming back 2K18. It's
that's
true,
prize
though.
number 1. Abby got a fidget spinner.
What?
Wow, she's only like 3 months late to the Fed.
I think I'm gonna take this big figurine out of here too.
Ooh, what is
Brent-
this? What's this?
Brent's gonna like that.
Oh snap!
It's
You won't.
looks like a woman with boob.
I'm not
hair.
100%, but it looks to me like Mom from Futurama.
It is a
Mom.
figurine of Mom from Futurama.
Wow.
That was, that drives me crazy because we had a previous guest take all the stuff out of the bag, and I couldn't say it then because we thought someone else might have listened to that episode before they came on. But don't worry, our guest never listened to previous episodes.
I've listened to every episode. I'm
Of course,
number
yeah.
1 fan.
Yeah, of course.
Hold that up to my camera.
So, with that, I think we're coming to the end of the show. It was a shorter second segment because we had a very long first segment. There was one more thing you had as a potential news item I wanted to cover.
We'll cover it on the next one.
Are you sure? Because I don't want to wait a week.
It's gonna take a while.
Well, in that case,
They've got things to do.
peer reviewed beer review.tumblr.com. whatupeugene.tumblr.com. That's if you're a reader. I'm not. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on what's that thing called? Stitcher. you just type in What Up Eugene. We're the only show with that stupid name. So you just type What Up Eugene. You don't need Stitcher Premium. You can get like the last 8 episodes free. But if you get Stitcher Premium, you can get every episode, including the 2 pilot episodes from way back when.
The very rare episodes.
It's all free on SoundCloud, but SoundCloud's such a nightmare to use on mobile. I don't recommend it. It's a shit show. But they host the RSS for the other websites. If you have comments, questions, concerns, or feedback, you can email us, momentsgostudios@gmail.com. You can also comment on SoundCloud, although it's very hard to see those on mobile, so probably don't do that. You can comment on Instagram. You can, I'm Instagram @LarsInTheStudio. Dan is @DanKoss. That's KOSS. You do it twice. Either one of those would be a fine place to send a PM or a comment suggesting stuff to talk about, critiquing us. Don't critique us. Tell us if you think one of our posts is decent. Tell us. We're curious. If it's good, only if it's decent or lower.
Yeah, and next episode we will be doing another fan mail. We're going to reach into our sacks. We're going to pull out your DMs from Instagram. We're going to pull out your messages on SoundCloud, your emails.
We're really going to, we're going to get the valve grease out and just reach deep into our sacks.
Just like Santa.
On that final note, are we going to have a Christmas episode?
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to have not yet, but soon there'll be a Christmas episode. Before then, do you have any social media you would like to pimp, Abby? Instagram is usually what people do, but Facebook, your professional career, if you want to shout out your meat slaughtering.
My shit's very private, but you can add me on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Abby Whyte.
With a Y.
So the one way they're going to find out where you actually work at, that you've been keeping a secret, is your LinkedIn.
If you want to connect, network, hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm open to job opportunities and information sharing.
This is not the place for job opportunities. This is the job for career killers.
If you think I'm a good fit for your company.
Okay.
If you've got a Mexican restaurant rating service.
If you need a Mexican food taste tester.
Who's also vegan and gluten-free.
I'm your gal.
Make sure it's corn. We'll see you next time.
On that note, fiddle-dee-dee.
Fiddle-dee-doo.
Fiddle-dum.
Moments go studios. Go studios.